Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of MidRank Madness. This is a diamond game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of MidRank Madness. This was one of the best selected by my screeners, and let's get right on into it. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is JusCogens. Again, representing the Zerg race, and in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Terran player, Djeulogical. Interesting name. Djeulogical. I had to look at it for a couple of minutes before I started the cast, trying to decide how that's pronounced. And I'm pretty sure it's a Djeulogical, which feels kind of French, but I'm pretty sure logical is a logical. Maybe, is that a cognate in French? I don't know. I don't know. My French is way too rusty. Way too rusty for that to be something I can say for sure. JusCogens, open up Extractor first. Heading on over into a hatchery there. So Extractor into hatch. Interesting decision making from Juice here. Quick check to make sure there are no pylons back behind his mineral line. Great job there by Mr. Cogens. Is it Cogens or Cogens, do you think? I'm going to go with Cogens. Probably just call him Juice from now on. Like Juice with French dip, which always bothers me. Again, my French knowledge is just enough that I can figure stuff like this out. But basically, Juice just means with juice. And people are like, oh, are you going to eat that French dip sandwich with au jus? And it's like, no, that just means with juice. It makes no sense at all. But I mean, based on the fact that it's used that way, au jus just kind of means like the sauce that you dip a French dip sandwich into. And who am I to complain? Who am I to complain about such things? Do we have a Reaper on the way from our barracks playing Djeulogical? The answer is we do. Just now, a Reaper named The Fallen. Once, this Reaper was a zealot by the name of Aslad, but after being defeated by a horde of drones, he was found and saved by his Protoss brothers. But once they heard how he was defeated, they exiled him, for he was a disgrace to his tribe. Now he has joined a roaming band of Reaper mercenaries known as the War Chasers. He will have his revenge, both on the Zerg who disgraced him, and on the tribe who forced him into exile, one worker at a time. That's a good one. That's a good Reaper name, for sure. I still have about 100 to go, so please, no more submissions for a while. I'll let you know when it's time to pop those back in. But here comes The Fallen. Yes, sometimes Reapers do get killed by drones, and I have to imagine that's a tough way to go. Right, you're surrounded by workers. And you can't jump over them, even though you have a jetpack, and it's just, you know what, you should be able to jump out of being surrounded if you're a Reaper. Doesn't that just make sense? If you can jump up this cliff, why can't you jump out of a surround? Ooh, I kind of like this balance idea. Make Reapers a little bit better. Maybe not like impossible, like impossibly good, but either way, the Fallen's in here getting some damage done. Oh, the Lings were at the wrong place, but now they're here at the main base defending. They are slow. Speed's about 50% complete. There are a lot of Lings here. Not necessarily microing back. The weakened one is Juice, but that's A-okay. Trying to get that angle where you can pin him against the wall. Can't do it. Can't pin them against the wall. This Reaper still alive has a kill, and it's a drone kill. So far, so good for the Fallen. Getting back in there. Dude, you got to get back in there before there is speed done on these Lings. Okay, there are Queens out at both of the bases, which is definitely a problem if you're planning on getting some more drone kills, but sitting here doesn't do a whole lot for you either. Perhaps he'll go in when the Zerg player's not expecting it, which I kind of like. Oh, transferring drones from the natural to the main. Why would you transfer up here? Does he have a bad rally? No, his rally to the natural base. Why does he have 22 workers at his main base? Juice, what are you doing, man? Baneling Nest and Evolution Chamber and speed is done on these Lings. Our Terran player is working on a lot of Marines, getting a factory with a reactor and a starport engineering bay on the way and a bunker at his front door. So this looks very much like a 5-minute double medevac drop full of Marines. Somebody had a name for that once. I can't remember what it is, unfortunately. And here he is doing some more work, but the Speedlings are here. Escape, escape the Fallen. Yes, he does. Oh, look at this guy go. He escapes the Lings. Where can he go to now where the Lings won't find him? Trying to sneak up here into the space next to the main of Juice. He can only get so far. He's being healed up. Oh, he stands his ground and gets murdered by the Speedlings. It's so hard to escape from Speedlings as a Reaper. It's just bad. Production tab looking really good for Djeulogical right now. He does, in fact, have Marines, SCVs, Widow Mines, Platypus, Barracks, and reactors being made all at the same time. There are 4 Marines inside that bunker at the front door, so perhaps he's not planning on being super aggressive here. He's got Widow Mines double pumping. He's got a starport with a reactor coming up. So usually you swap the factory's reactor onto the starport if you want to drop, but that is not what Djeulogical has done. Perhaps he's preparing for some kind of a Zerg onslaught, which could be coming. The early Baneling Nest is kind of an indication that there might be some aggression on the way from Juice, but I don't actually know. Third hatch on the way from Juice just to the right of the natural base. Lings here. Awesome Ling drop action. There's a Drop Lord And 4 Zerglings just outside the main base of Djeulogical. They could do some work here. There's really nothing here to defend these SCVs at all. They can fight themselves. Oh, Baneling Rain. Okay. I completely forgot for a second he had a Baneling nest. Make another Baneling. You have enough money for another Baneling. There it is. 4th Baneling. Morphin in will slow down this drop just a little bit, but I don't think Djeulogical really has a chance of stopping it anyway at this point. He's got Widowmines at his front door, but perhaps you should have Widowmines at your back door. Djeulogical lair on the way for the Zerg player. And here we go. Come on, it's time to move. Time to move, Overlord. Let's do this thing. Yes. Yes, Juice coming in with his Baneling Rain. One of my favorite visuals in all of StarCraft 2 is this very moment here. Well, not this moment. This moment is actually sort of boring. But where the Overlord comes in and it drops and there's just beautiful green explosions. It's like wildfire in Game of Thrones. Well, bam, well, bam. Oh, the SCV massacre. Not enough upgrades on the Lings to one-shot SCVs, but did kill 8 SCVs there, bringing it to 39 to 34 Harvesters in favor of Juice. And here comes the drop. Djeulogical says, all right, that's it. That is it. I'm tired of your shenanigans, killing my SCVs. What's he doing to defend back home? Anything at all? I mean, another round of Banelings could be coming as far as he knows, and he's just doing absolutely nothing to protect against it. So maybe he knows something I don't, because I don't see any more coming from Juice, but I'd be worried if I was him. So here comes our drop. We do have 3 Widowmines in these medevacs, along with a bunch of Marines unloading here. Lings are here, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Widowmines do burrow, and the Lings run away. They hate Widowmines for a good reason, obviously. Your drone's forced to retreat. Queen does take a Widowmine shot. It is enough to kill her with the Marine support here, looking really bad for our Zerg player. The Widowmines, there are still 2 here that haven't fired yet. The Marines take down an extractor. They're going after the spawning pool. Juice cannot allow this to happen. Get in there with the Lings, and one big Widowmine hit. Oh, man, big time Widowmine hit. The Widowmines are gone, but they did their terrible, terrible damage as a retreat is on the way from Djeulogical. 29 Lings killed, 4 drones killed at this point. 38 to 40 Harvesters. Djeulogical looking okay. Looking okay. Really strong drop there with the Widowmines. I liked it a lot. Get these drones back to work. Juice. Getting them back onto these mineral structures. There we go. Back onto the mineral patches. +1 ground carapace being researched by Juice, getting +2 melee as well. And an infestation pit coming in at 7.5 minutes. I love early infestation pits from Zerg. I just feel like they're very good. Burrow infestors are fantastic. Much better than non-burrow cast infestors. They're just, I always complained, right, that the casters for Zerg, infestors are fat. They're easy to target. They're easy to snipe down with stuff like steady targeting or feedback if you're a Protoss player, whereas High Templar are tiny and Ghosts are tiny and they're hard to pick out of an army. If you're trying to kill them, infestors are just big fat things. So being able to burrow cast kind of helps with that. For sure. I mean, they're still fat. If you scan them or have detection, they're going to die, but it's a little bit harder to do that anyway. So Liberators here for Djeulogical, got Marines, got a Marauder, 2 Marauders. Landing his 3rd base here to the left of his main natural base. Marines take that Overlord out of the sky that was scouting, and this way Juice knows there's an army coming. He's going Ling, Bane, Hydra. Muscular Augment's almost done here. I kind of like this. I mean, it's very similar to our Mass Hydra play we saw in a Master level game last week, or I believe it was last week, in that the Hydras could stand their own pretty well, much better than they used to be able to with their 90 hit points, but they just didn't have the DPS. So I think if they can kind of do some tanking, the Hydras, that might actually help the Lings and Banes do the actual DPS there. I don't know. We will see. Widowmines burrowing at the front right next to this 3rd base. Widowmines taking down the Queen. Widowmines getting focused down immediately. Then Lings and Banes waltzing right through all of these Marines. I don't know if there's enough ground to do this. The Liberators trying to take these guys out, but forced to retreat as there are enough Hydras, just maybe 5 or so Hydras on the ground, to make the Liberators get out of there because they're down to exactly 8 hit points apiece. Exactly, huh? How interesting is that? Exactly 8. 4th base on the way from Juice, doing a great job expanding and defending at the same time. Terran building armor on the way from Djeulogical as well. And yeah, command center finishing for that 3rd base. What else is our Zerg player up to? Still getting that +2 melee attack. Could maybe work on +1 missile attack if he's making this many Hydralisks. He does have 9. No more on the way, but another Drop Lord being morphed in. Widowmine catching these Lings, trying to waltz across to check for a 4th base. One Ling makes it and turns himself into a Baneling, but I'm not sure if 1 Baneling is really going to be enough to take out these SCVs. And maybe with +2 attack it is, though. Is +2 attack Baneling enough to one-shot an SCV? I guess we'll find out. I'm going to assume we'll probably find out here. Lings, Morlings coming across the very top path of the map. They're just trying to avoid any more Widowmine unfortunate incidents. And yeah, they'll make it safely to their drop lord here at the 4th base location of Djeulogical. They're going to drop this natural, and again, nothing really here to stop this from happening. It's just got to be reaction time out of Djeulogical. I'm surprised at how much he's allowing the Zerg player to sit back and macro up at this point. He did have a pretty big army. He did get shut down pretty hard, which I guess will slow things down. But here we go. Juice. He's got his Banelings and his Overlord. It's time to come on down to the south. Let's do this thing. Here it is. Here comes the Baneling rain. Concussive Shell on the way for the Terran player. +2/+2 on the way from Djeulogical as well. Hellbats coming in. Marauders. Ooh, I like the Hellbat choice, actually. Here it is, the drop action on this natural base. And no! It just still takes 2 Banelings to kill an SCV, even with +2 attack. Must be that extra little bit of HP that they have compared to the other workers. I think that it is enough to kill a probe with 1 shot, and definitely drones with 1 shot. But SCVs, man, maybe it's +3 attack you need. Maybe it's the +3 attack you need. A Thor here for Djeulogical, kind of meching it up a little bit. He's got 6 Hellbats and a Thor, bunch of Marauders, so not going very Marine heavy whatsoever at this point. He has 23, which is a lot, but not necessarily for the ZVT matchup. Lings, Banes, Hydras is pretty much what we're rolling with if we're Juice. Any Infestors have been made yet? No. Again, I'd love to see some Burrow Infestor, some Burrow Fungal, and then the Banelings on top of that. Ugh. Just a fantastic combination against Terran. Liberator setting up defenses here at the 3rd base of Djeulogical. Missile turret on the way from Djeulogical as well. Wants to make sure any Overseers that come over have to get shot in the face. Perhaps worried about Mutalisks as well, as Djeulogical hasn't really scouted since that first drop that he had in the main base of Juice like 5 minutes ago now. So Djeulogical is moving out across the map. Got Hellbats, got Marauders, got them Marines, got Medivacs in the sky. A lot of Medivacs in the sky, 9 of them to be exact. They do heal the Hellbats, but not Hellions, which I've never understood why. Obviously, it's a balance thing, but logically it makes no sense. 5 Infestors on the way for Juice. Does he have Pathogen Glands, though? Where is his infestation pit? Oh, there it is, under those Overlords. He does not have it. So here we go. Terran army walking right into this 3rd base. Banelings morphing in. Are they going to make it? They are going to make it. Lings, Hydras, Banelings from the left side, Banelings from the top. Pretty good hits there. Are there enough Hydras? Yes, the Thor ends up getting killed very quickly. Hydras just tearing through this Marauder army, not taking extra damage from those Marauders whatsoever. The remaining Marauders are being healed, though, and again, this is what we saw previously in this matchup, where the Hydras can hold their own, but the healing can overwhelm them eventually. But they win this battle just by the skin of their teeth. About 4 Hydralisks do survive. Reinforcements come in, and there are Infestors without the Pathogen Glands upgrade. Burrow just about done, though, so Burrow Infestor will be a thing, which is excellent. Excellent indeed. 4 bases to 3 bases now. Terran player does not show any real interest in taking a 4th. I don't see any more command centers under construction for him, so perhaps, I don't know. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing. He's playing really defensively. Actually getting tanks now. All right, so tanks versus Hydra seem like a pretty darn good choice. 4th base up and running for Juice, now taking his Extractor and going for a 5th, it looks like. Yes, 5th base up top on the left side of this map. Got Marines, got a couple Marauders. +2/+2 is done for these guys. No sign of +3/+3, which seems to be something of an oversight for the Terran player. I know he has a lot of Hellbats, and he had a couple Thors there, but you got to upgrade. You got to upgrade your biological units as well. Overlord, well, Drop Lord with speed, trying to scout things, but missile turrets were buffing him pretty darn effectively. Burrow Infestor sneaking in. Oh no, got in range of the missile turret, and the Liberators took her down. Ooh, tried to be sneaky there. Tried to be sneaky, didn't really work out. This command center, this 3rd command center for Djeulogical is actually not anything. Not an orbital command or a planetary fortress. I'm not sure if he sees that or not. He is making a 4th base now, in that base just north of his natural. 5th base on the way from Mr. Juice. And +3 melee attack being researched by Juice as well. Big drop, almost doom droppy coming in for Djeulogical. He's got 7 Medivacs, just almost full to the brim of units. Going to try to drop here inside the main base, possibly hold this top ramp, but he's not doing it very well. There's a Macro Hatch that might die. There's a Queen that is definitely going to die. Overseers here in case there are Widowmines, Hydras. Slow Banes just walking into here, doing terrible damage to the Terran army. And absolutely taking down those tanks, Marines dead. Anybody making it out of here alive? Few Medivacs making it out, but are there any guys in these units. No, but coming across the map, Djeulogical has more units. He's a 3-base in Terran. He can do this. He can do this, but more Hydras showing up, trying to pick off those medevacs manually from the ground. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful from the Zerg player, able to pick off those medevacs that didn't have the boost up yet, but chasing down Hydras on the creep with the Muscular Augments upgrade. Just gorgeous. Widowmine has a single kill here inside the main base of Juice. Left over and forgotten from Djeulogical's raid here. Or is he going to take it out? He's thinking about taking it out. Where's Overseers? Oh, there they are. Okay, bam. Widowmine does get removed. Resources lost at this point. 10,000 for the Zerg player, about 11, 12 for the Terran player. Not a good sign. Not a good sign when you're being out effective by a Zerg player, but maybe Hydras allow Zerg to do this a little bit more. I kind of like it. Kind of like what we're seeing. 173 to 134 total supply. How are the upgrades? Working on +2 missile and +3 ground carapace. I like that +3. Very useful. Ultralisk Cavern on the way from Juice as well. Must be feeling pretty good. Pretty good about defending for this long. The more defense you have, the more successful defense that you have against the Terran. Just the more, I don't want to say cocky, but the more confident you get against the Terran player here. Djeulogical, I don't know what he needs to do exactly. I mean, the Banelings added in are just really strong. Really strong. Do they still not have speed? Is he just in... No, they're still slow Banes. I'm really surprised he skipped Baneling's speed. I mean, he has enough money to do it, and he's maxed out, so what else is he spending his money on? He has other upgrades coming in, but they're slow. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably ping him and say, what up, dude? Centrifugal hooks, do that thing. Do that thing. So maxed out Zerg army versus a 165 supply Djeulogical. And here comes Juice, moving across the map here, kind of towards the middle. Creep spread's looking pretty darn good for a diamond level game as well. Link's checking to see for bases for 5th. There's not one there. But there is a 4th. I'm not sure you can let the Terran player do this. The scan sees the army. And coming from the north, though, surprise, is Juice. Banelings getting big-time hits on. The splits are trying to do their best from Djeulogical, but just not enough here. The Hydras from great range. Fungals catching units. Hydras finishing them off as they can't run away. Yes, there are Liberators here. I'm not sure how much Juice cares at this point that the 3rd base is under direct assault. Again, no Planetary Fortress here, which seems like a bit of a mistake, but I think we're going to be okay with that one. Single tank for Djeulogical setup. Trying to kill all these Hydras. No. Fungal growth being thrown down on the SCB so they can't run. Oh, insult to injury, and that's it. A good game well played out of Djeulogical. Good game well played out of Juice, and JusCogens is victorious. It's probably JusCogens, and I've been saying it wrong all of this time. All right, so that's going to be it from me. Pretty interesting. I like the Hydras in ZVT now. I love supplementing with Banelings. Speed Banelings probably would have been better. Some Fungals from the Infestors helped immensely there as well. But 90 hit points with +2 ground carapace, just making Hydras viable in Terran is pretty much the message here. Djeulogical was a little bit too timid, I would say, throughout this game. He did not have the early harassment that you need. His drop was a little bit late. His attacks were a little bit late. His splits weren't as good as they could be, but that's why he's not Master or Grandmaster, I feel like. So micro improvements could be there. All right, so that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload of MidRank Madness this time around. Again, if you want to submit your replay to MidRank Madness, not Midmake Madness, you can send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com with that very subject. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook and Patreon, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me.
justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. The path of ascension is before us. Guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Kala rulas. Naslaranus, Naslaran, Kinalatu. Casar di Templare, Daramanagam. Shara Sashina, Kinala